Hello viewers, welcome to the program Inspire Children Imprinting Generations, that place where we have conversation regarding the growth, the development and the future of our children. And remember, the future of our children, it begins today. You and I, we are responsible. Our children are responsible. All things work together so that we build a better Zimbabwe, a better home, a better tradition within your home. Last time we talked about issues of puberty. We received reviews and questions, and from the reviews and questions that we received, the viewers really expressed that we did not finish to talk about puberty, because ndopa zone pari kupisa, ndopa zone panoitwa ma errors, ndopa zone panoitwa decision making. So we have back in the studio Mrs. Mashinga is there to help us to push this discussion further and bring more knowledge, more information, more things, more tools that you need to make sure that the flower that is budding within your home buddies at the right time and at the right and correct place. So welcome to the program, Mrs. Mashinga.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you.
You know,
we started this conversation on puberty, and you know, like what I was saying, that the puberty stage, you know, that's the red zone, is the critical stage. That once someone crosses that place safely, they are good wherever they go. So we want to go back into our conversation and continue to talk more about puberty. You know, we talked about many things, but as a starting point, I know every time when we meet, there are new viewers who might have missed the last discussion, to just lay again a foundation. What is puberty? What are we talking about when we are looking at issues of puberty?
So puberty is a process that builds the transition between a child, from being a child into being an adult. We can probably call it the stopgap. It's manifested in the form of physical effects, which are noted on bodily changes from head to toe. It could be thickening of hair for both boys and girls. Formation of facial features even. They become much more distinct. Akafanana baba akuoneka, akafanana mai akuoneka. Facial features become more distinct. For boys, they start to develop a mustache, a beard, the skin, their skin changes. Skin on the face, there could be acne. Skin all over the body, there could be stretch marks. Sweat glands become much more sensitive. There's much more sweating. There's development of pubertal hair. There's development of hair in the armpit. There's development of breasts. For girls, skin becomes thicker, particularly in boys. Further development and maturation of reproductive organs for both boys and girls. Girls become even more curvy. Those that had flat-chested, you start to see tumagwava, tumakotopea, and all that. Yes, and then physically, I've already spoken about even the stretch marks. And then emotionally and hormonally, because of these hormonal changes, these physical changes bring about and are paired with hormonal influxes that cause emotional changes. Girls and boys both become more self-aware.
So hormones ndo manzwira, if we talk in short.
Muchirungu tukuti chemical messengers. Zvinhu zviri inbuilt inside somebody's body. Yes. Zvinokonzeresa certain behaviors. Zvinokonzeresa sensitivity. It could be physical, the sensitivity to sense of touch. Kunzwa kuti panapa ndabatwa nemukomana, there's something chandinofila, ndabatwa nemusikana. But also even emotionally, you become more sensitive. Girls, when it's time to cry, they cry harder.
When they
boys,
want to get angry, they get
aggressive. And things like that. And then of course there are other changes, like girls have their periods, boys start having things like my wet dreams, and things like that. All of those processes are intertwined in this whole cocoon of what we call puberty.
Wow. I just got reminded of something that happened when I was in puberty. I remember when I was entering early puberty, we used to feel like I want to change the way I walk. I remember at one time in our class, there was a certain person, because they were very intelligent, they were the talk of whatever. And so when someone is being magnified by teachers above everyone else, that person also becomes like, you wish you would be like that. So you would have those confused emotions where you feel like, maybe if we act like that person, if we're like this person, probably we'll be likable. Are those the changes in the emotions that you are talking about?
You were being in touch with your femininity. growing closer to the woman in you. Even for boys, they are more in touch with their masculinity. They feel it, they want to express it even more. But I'm triggered by something you said. Already, you were attaching yourself to somebody who you regarded as the better model of femininity. It could be a teacher, it could be a fellow classmate. And you mentioned that they were elevated even by the teacher. It could have been purely because they are smarter, purely because they are more intelligent. But already, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of this little girl today who is seeing that person as the icon of who we should all be. Perhaps the teacher was also capitalizing on this girl's intelligence, on this girl's poise, on this girl's stature. And one of these days, this girl would be drawn closer to this teacher. Takutotaura about the vulnerability that comes with puberty. She's drawn closer. Imagine if Kumba kwakusina that positive affirmation as kuna teacher. Daily nongoda teacher kutregani mbobate mwana oyuzamu. This child completely trusts the teacher because ndiye munhu anombring her up. You understand? So anyway, let's not digress and go in that direction. But this is exactly what happens. All the other little girls, because puberty happens differently at different stages, different body builds,
different people,
different dietary influences on body build, hormonal influences. Kumba kwedu kune giant, kumba kwedu kune madzimai vane bigger chests, kune vari more curvaceous. Ari more curvaceous might feel kuti I'm the one. Ari less otanga kutofila. So you need to understand the emotional things that happen in children at this time. Here is a boy in Form 2, for instance. Atowane kukwaya ndio mbiru yakatobata zichurch choir rese. Church rese yeah. Something is already happening in his mind. I'm the man. And then there's this little girl, kunevari bodacious and all, and there's this little girl who is straight as a ruler, flat as a door. Arikona ava vari kupembedzwa nevamwe, she's saying, so who am I
have no place.
Shiri kumuisa pavulnerability. Ari kupembedzwa is also being put pavulnerability. So today, I also want us to really think about the boys. Ava babava. Remember, ndoka ruti kari kukambaira kari kunzi daddy. Sekuru. Junior. Papa. He's grown up being told, I'm the man, I'm the man. A relative of mine had a father who was, to a certain extent, almost alcoholic. And when he eventually had a boy child, that boy looked at his father as his role model. Vanga vari papa, vakatozvarwa, vari baba. And when his father would drink beer, the father was very cautious to say, you are too little, you do not drink beer. But that little boy's choice of drink would be stony ginger beer. Though it's not beer, but it's beerly.
It's beer.
So you see how this modeling happens. So even the way the father walks, I remember in a different sphere, muchurch medu, it's Pentecostal church. Pane vamwe baba vanopusha masimbi. Kana takunamata zviyatripa all night, you would be going around tense my muscles. We noticed after a while there was a little boy totally unrelated to this guy. You know, he would also have his shoulders up in his neck. I want us to appreciate how much of an effect adults have on growing teens, especially at the point of puberty. This is where role modeling takes place.
From what you're saying, Mrs. Mashingaize, you are bringing a strong message to adults within those who lead youths, those who look after young people, that they also have to be, intentional about the things they do, because they do have an influence on our children, like what you're saying. So, talk more about the boys. What's happening with the boys, in this puberty? What is happening? What are we seeing?
Boys talk.
Yeah.
Girls talk, yeah. Boys talk. Boys show each other themselves. They discuss myths about how to grow bigger, how to look more masculine, how to present yourself as more masculine. Boys talk. Boys also experience wet dreams. Boys also are exposed to pornography at different levels. Some will choose kuti kumba kwedu takarambizwa. We do not do this. But sometimes curiosity gets the better of them. Children are vulnerable boys, especially in this dispensation, are also overly exposed to sodomy, sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault. In some levels, people might say it's experimental, but trust me, there is 1% experiment, and maybe 80% somebody fueling the potentiation of sexual assault through the experimental screen. In institutions, in clubs, in play circles, play dates, when they have had their discussion, when they have heard big brothers talking, when they have seen Daddy and his way with the ladies, they come back to this play date within this protected circle and all, but they want to show that I'm the man. Remember, Tati, puberty automatically pushes them into this want to associate themselves with their more masculine side. So they want to express their masculinity. And again, there's issues of validation.
Before you go to validation, we want to really roll and go with this thing. We'll come back to talk about this, what's happening with the boys. I'm sure everyone really is concerned. Many people are saying, you know what, it seems like there's a season where we went extremes on protecting the girl child and ignoring the boys. When we come back after the break, we'll continue talking and exploring the journey of the boys. Viewers, don't go away. What an informative conversation that we have today. Mrs. Mashingaidze, continue to talk about the boys. We don't want to have any of our children left behind. Everyone should be in there. Talk more. What's happening with the boys and some of the things we need to look out for?
Unfortunately, as nature will have it, the boys will have wet dreams. They have not chosen to have wet dreams. They will have wet dreams. Is the home a safe space? Is mommy capacitated to talk their child through the changes that they are expected to go through during puberty? Is it socially appropriate? Is it culturally appropriate? Is the home a free enough space for a mother to sit her boy down and say, Manangu, you are going to experience ABC. When it happens, come to me, talk to me, I am your mother. If that part is missing, all right, fair and fine, in your family there's that conservatism. Is the father there? Is the father figure there? Is somebody in this safety of the home front available to talk to our children? Or we are leaving it to the teachers, the guidance and education. But I should tell our guidance and education. And when it's break time, when the boys are in their little corner, my lunchbox, they are going to talk about it. They are going to share their experiences of what happened when they had their wet dreams. They are going to talk about masturbation, which you and I know is also not healthy for them. But they are going to walk this route, walk this route, walk this route. And in walking this route, who knows which way it will go if there is no guidance associated with this route.
You know, you are speaking serious things here, where we are saying we cannot ignore talking about it, especially with the current setup and living arrangements that we have now, where we are saying our society used to be so knit together. We had all the resources close by. The tete was there, whoever, the young brother was close by. But now there is those things have changed. Tete stays some miles away, probably out of the city. There's no one to do it, and puberty has tricked in. And I believe what you are saying is very critical, very important for our communities to know that we have to talk about. So how then should this conversation roll out? I know many parents, they struggle in talking, especially with the boys, about some of these changes that you are highlighting.
In our generation, when we went to school, it was taboo. You would bump into this in science, close to writing O levels. Otherwise, we learned by lived experiences. We learned by peer pressure. We learned by rumors around the fire. They were more enlightened. UK, my cousins, they are more enlightened because they were already talking about these issues. But in this dispensation, from as early as ECD, but unfortunately, then they are going back home to parents
Who
who do not have that same
Yes,
intellectual capacity nor the confidence to talk about it. Ku-church, tinema programs, tinema youth in our different social circles. Are we capacitated?
Yes.
Do parents deliberately sit down to seek knowledge on how to package, how to talk to their children? Vana vari kupomberwa, vana vatova ma-A level in terms of knowing about these things, but they are coming home to parents who don't know this.
Talk.
And parents sometimes manifest this avoidance. Kana zvauya zviri pahomework vototi yuhi mashure akudzidziswa vana. But let's talk about it, because tikufambirana with globalization. This is what is happening. So our parents need to know what to talk about, need to know how to talk about it. Before anything, they need to establish trust. They need to establish a safe space. Can the boy confidently come and say, Mama, I have stained my sheets, ndozvaiitika? Can a parent see kuti mwana mukomana wangu is not comfortable today, pane zvaari kana kuti muri kusvibisa mashitsi nezvamuri kuita, you know, what are we doing about this? Do we know what this child is going through? If we do not help them on the home front, maticha azere, social media, TikTok,
there's
so many uncensored
sources.
platforms. You can do what you want to do. Vana vari kudzidza IT, kupfura vanhu vane madegree today, mwana vari kudzidza IT in primary, they can manipulate these systems. And they are taught to be open and to just talk about it like that. Saka ngative ne capacity, ngati set up my protective spheres, ngati set up spaces that our boys can come to. If you are a father, you are an uncle, you be the man in the house, anomodela, things that you were not taught yourself. Endeavor to seek that knowledge, and then clip it, edit it, package it according to this boy, really in a safe space. Because what is happening when they're out there in their circles, I've already spoken about the play date, they are going to try and experiment. Umwacha kwarira mukati oziva kuti I mustn't cross this line. We are living in a sphere where boy child is sexually assaulting his sister. And these issues are being swept under the rugs because it's really embarrassing to my parents. But when we go back and look at it, tativa now, hormones are fueling this behavior. Dzimwe nguva, we don't even want to talk about my homes and that enmeshed society. Where the family is separated, mai varuku baba varuku, or tiri kuchengetesa vana mumaraini, and there is no particular social structure which is designed to mold this child. Izvozvo zvine ma-risks. Pavari kuzvidzidziswa kuchikoro, if we come back to my generation, we were not brought up to talk about it. But once they are taught about it in school, let's discuss it at home. Tatovhurirwa platform. But how will you know that they've spoken about it kuchikoro if you never endeavor to find out kuti kuchikoro muri kuita nezvei? All you worry about mageza masocks here, aina uniform here, ndiana ari kusuka maplates. Parents ngatipinde ma issues evana.
You know, I'm liking what you're saying, Mrs. Mashinga. You know, knowledge is increasing so much. So the parents, the adult, have to get in a mode of saying, we have to learn. We have to look for the knowledge. We have to look for the information. Ignorance does not help. Hiding does not help. Thank you so much for bringing these very important insights. We're going to come back and continue this discussion. Viewers, don't go away. See you after the break. Talk to us about some of the societal things that are happening around us, and as it relates to how gatekeepers need to be there to regulate and help us as a society, as a community, that are fueled, and usually they take advantage of the puberty stage to influence things, so many things. You know, you've got a sexualized community. Can you talk more around that?
Our nation, global village, has become over-sexualized. Censorship has become to a minimum. We sometimes watch South African programs and they'll say Broadcasting Commission, da 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 da. If you do not like this content, da 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 da. We see that, and then they're taking clothes off in the next scene. And nobody ever actually picks up the phone to call the Broadcasting Complaints Commission. Kudara would switch off the TV would chase the children from the room, would mind kuti mother-in-law is sitting there. But now we are settling into
that.
This is the way of the world. As parents, we are removing those barriers ourselves. Kokuzoti, this generation which is upcoming, if we remove these barriers without an explanation, remove those barriers if you really must, encounter them with positive understanding. Manango, I might remove these barriers in this house, but when you go to university in the UK, this is going to be in your face all the time. Your roommate is going to be engaged in sexual intercourse with somebody while you're watching, and things like that. Maybe it's going to happen with parents in overcrowding and things. And let us teach them the difference between wrong or right. I know there are going to be certain avenues that are going to say what is wrong and what is right. We already have nude beaches in more developed countries. That's what comes with development. But have we factored into our own children? Are we protecting our children? We are living in an overly sexualized sphere. We are living in a place where music and you happen to be playing the radio and the DJ is saying and then you know you are busy nodding along with cruiser and you're like, when we grew up we used to be warped for saying that word. Pamwe pacho rinenge rauya riri skewed, but you and I know no, this is a square word. This is a colloquial statement referring to reproductive organs. Zvinyadzi izvi asi tiri kutogutsurira tichitoteerera. And you know, sometimes just when you switch your mind off, waakutanga kuwacha, that thing keeps ringing in your head. Kokuzoti mwana uyu who doesn't know any better. What are we doing? Pane censorship here. Censorship hapana.
So censorship has to start within the home.
Yes.
Create boundaries.
Exactly.
Fight and defend for your family. You know, every time I look at the documentaries on animals, there's something amazing about real animals. When it's time to defend their little ones, that's a no-go area. You know, they would rather die defending. And I think that's probably we need that instinct of saying, you know what, if we're going to build a better community, we have to fight hard to make sure that our little ones are protected and their behavior is modeled in the correct way. You know, I know our time is cruising, Mrs. Fashion Guys. You know, speak more about some of the things that our parents adults need to be cognizant of, some of the things they need to regulate and the things that they need to magnify.
In capital letters, if we are fully aware that the bulk of what is absorbed in the mind forms the base of that which is exuded physically. Tikabatsirika ipapapo, nyika inopona. How much of what we are exposing our children to? Askwera kwa askwera, arikuona zvaarikuona. But isusu tiri in the home front, what are we drilling in them? That which we drill in them should be so powerfully packaged from an animal instinct perspective that you are talking about. Handidi, nevana vangu. What is playing in their phones? What are they seeing on their screens? It's not enough kumudzimira. It's not enough kumublockera YouTube. I've got a 9-year-old nephew. That boy, we call him the phone fixer. The moment you sit down, he takes your phone. I know apps. I can ask him, how do I use this about my phone? Mana aka expose. Pane cartoons right now that are talking about sexual favors, that are talking about boyfriend and girlfriend, that are talking about sex. What are we drilling into these children? Do we even know? The
fact that children have their own mind, while we help them, at the same time, we should be facilitating a conversation that helps them to realize the truth, the rights, and the wrongs. And I think it's very important. That's the greatest takeaway for this last segment. Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Mashinga. I wish we had hours and hours of conversation. What would be your last words just to our children and to our viewers?
As always, parent, be available. Guardian, be available. Nothing beats your physical presence. It fuels you to be able to pick red flags in a child. Apana mugoni webkwere.
Oh yes.
Asi if you are available. Somewhere along the line, even the Bible says, Anzi, train up a child. What you train in them is what you see in the fruit of what they become. We might not necessarily block them from walking in errant ways, but they have something to come back to if they are properly modeled straight from the start.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us. Dear viewers, there you have it. We had a powerful conversation today. What are you drilling into those children? Let us fight tooth and nail to make sure that our children are protected. We give them the knowledge they need, and we are there for them. When we do that, we are going to build a better tomorrow for them. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again next time on the program. Send your comments and reviews on the number below. Thank you and goodbye.